welcome back. I am Largo, and today we are checking out another death battle video. This video comes to you via commenter suggestion, so thank you very much for that, and keep up the great suggestions. Today we're going to take a look at the battle Wolverine versus Raiden, Metal Gear versus Marvel. Now, obviously, I'm familiar with Wolverine. He's probably one of the most popular comic book characters to have ever graced the screen in the comic book page. He is practically everywhere. You can't really do anything X-Men without throwing Wolverine into it, so definitely know who Wolverine is. Raiden from Metal Gear, I do know who he is. However, my only really interaction with Raiden was playing Metal Gear Solid 2, where he was the bait and switch. They told us we were going to be playing as Snake, and they gave us whiny girl Raiden instead. So I've always kind of had this bad taste in my mouth when it comes to Raiden. Now, I know he's had his redemption and he's been given the whole cyborg ninja treatment as far as Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. However, I've never played that game, so I don't know that much about him or his kit. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and see what's up with this death battle between Wolverine and Raiden.
Long-range weaponry are effective tools of destruction, but there's just something special about killing up close and personal with a blade. Like Wolverine, the vicious anti-hero of the X-Men.
And Raiden, the deadly cyborg ninja from Metal Gear.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
3 scratches, 3 claws. This is the mark of the Wolverine.
But before he was the poster boy of the X-Men, he was born James Howlett in 1886.
And he was the wimpiest kid ever. He was tiny and pathetic and sick all the time, but little James wasn't stuck in bed for too long.
As he grew up, James started to develop mutant powers, which gave him animal senses and rapid healing. But when the family groundskeeper Thomas Logan murdered his father, James learned he had a more lethal power hidden within.
Retractable bone claws? Old Thomas never knew what hit him, or more specifically, what stabbed him to death.
But Thomas used his dying breath for the oh-so-original plot twist. I'm your father.
Going from 2 dads to 0 in a matter of seconds. Anyway, James took on the name Logan to poorly hide his identity and ran away from home with his childhood friend Rose. But then he accidentally stabbed her to death too. Damn, those things seem really inconvenient. Like a murder erection. Always popping up when you least expect it.
You should probably see a doctor. With his healing ability slowing his aging, Logan has lived over 100 years. He fought in both World Wars and Vietnam before joining a special weapons project called Weapon X. This is where he took the name, the Wolverine.
But like almost every other secret project ever, it was actually yet another horrifying super soldier project. Whilst there, Wolverine enjoyed such treatments as being cut open repeatedly, having his DNA harvested, and getting his skeleton a pimped out chrome job.
Against Logan's will, a scientist named Dr. Cornelius infused his bones with adamantium, a rare man-made metal alloy. Adamantium is extremely dense and stable on a molecular level, making it reportedly indestructible. Even Thor has a hard time breaking it.
And Dr. Scientist also hypnotized Wolverine to erase his memories and turn him into an animalistic killing machine. The result? Well, Wolverine went crazy and slaughtered everyone at Weapon X. So I guess you could say the experiment turned out to be a complete success.
That's what they built him to do.
After wandering the wilderness and tangling with the Hulk, Wolverine was eventually discovered by the X-Men, who molded him into a real hero. Logan had finally found a place to call home, and a family he did not stab to death.
Old Wolvie's got more mutant powers than Kim Kardashian has butt injections. He has keen animal-like senses and expert tracking skills, can move faster than the eye can see, and can lift up to 2 tons. His adamantium claws can cut through almost anything, and conveniently, he never has to sharpen them. He's immune to disease, can resist mind control, and can fight for days without tiring. Oh, and for some reason, he can sense animals' feelings and talk to them, like some sort of bear whisperer.
He's equal in hand-to-hand combat with Captain America, and was skilled enough to tag Speed Demon, who runs faster than the speed of sound.
Despite all of this, his greatest attribute is his sheer durability. He's like Super Rocky.
Wolverine has survived hits from Thor and the Hulkbuster, battled with Satan himself, and was once blown up with nothing left but his adamantium skeleton.
Think that stopped him? Hell no! He got back up and beat the ever-living shit out of the emo Bomberman who blew him up in the first place. Jesus Christ, can anything stop this guy?
Well, technically he has died a few times. He even used to have a deal with the Angel of Death to be resurrected should his healing factor ever be overtaxed. But eventually he gave it up in exchange for his soul. Yeah, this actually happened. However, according to Professor Xavier, leader of the X-Men, Wolverine's healing factor stems from his brain. Ah? Get it? Stem? Like brainstem?
Wiz, I'm the funny one. Just stick to being boring.
Aw. Anyway, this means Wolverine can be killed by drowning or destroying his brain. But seeing as his brain's protected by a thick adamantium skull, it's probably staying where it is. Still, there's a reason why Logan keeps getting into bad situations like these. He's a lone wolf and doesn't like relying on others.
And he's got a bit of a temper.
Tell Cyclops I made him a convertible.
Piss him off too much, something snaps and Wolverine will enter the Berserker Rage.
In this state, Wolverine loses all self-control and ignores all pain, as he is consumed by the animalistic killer instinct instilled deep within him by Dr. Cornelius all those years ago.
My stars.
Born in
Alright, so that was the breakdown for Wolverine. Not going to spend too much time on him since pretty much everybody knows who he is and what he's about, right? We'll just touch on the major things. He's got the super healing factor. He's got the indestructible adamantium skeleton and claws. He's got the Berserker Rage. And he's got way more experience than most people have spent years being alive because he's got that healing factor and by extension an extended lifespan. So I'm definitely going to say as far as his basic armaments, the fact that he can never be unarmed, the fact that you'll never be able to break his bones, the fact that he can heal any kind of flesh wound, makes him a very, very difficult opponent to take down. But like they said, he has been taken out before. You can drown him, you can encase him in adamantium, you can use carbonadium, you can use the Murasama blade. All of these things will either kill him, incapacitate him, or reduce his healing factor enough that you can take him out. So while he is incredibly strong, he's not invincible. So let's go ahead and hear what they have to say about Raiden.
In Liberia, a young boy named Jack lost his parents and was adopted by George Sears, the future president of the United States.
Which sounds like a pretty good upside considering, except Sears was actually Solidus Snake, a traitor who manipulated world leaders to profit from the war economy. Oh, and the fact that he killed Jack's parents. I'm your dad now.
Being the perfect parent he is, Solidus enlisted Jack in the Liberian Civil War, where he became captain of his own commando unit in the Army of the Devil.
It's an army
It's
of...
not an actual army of devils.
Oh, damn it.
A natural harbinger of death, Jack's high kill count earned him the nickname Jack the Ripper. He accomplished all of this, and he was only 10 years old.
Oh my god, could you imagine this kid during puberty? If it ever even hits. I mean, even 10 years later, he still looks like he's waiting for the old stones to drop.
Well, they had to sometime. After being abandoned by Solidus, Jack fell for a girl named Rose and eventually got her pregnant.
Jack was tormented by his past life and sought to right his wrongs by joining a special task force. With them, he teamed up with the legendary Solid Snake to take down some bad guys, destroy giant robots, go streaking, and even kill dear old foster dad. All under his awesome new code name, Raiden.
Except all along, he was actually being controlled by the Patriots, a secret organization manipulating the US from behind the scenes and bent on dominating the world.
Yeah, okay, hang on to your butts, because this is where things start getting out of hand. See, his girlfriend Rose was actually a Patriot spy and was manipulating his life the entire time they were together. Women, right? But she was all like, my bad, I love you. And he was like, it's gay, let me put my dick in you. And then they had a kid.
Well, first she actually said she had a miscarriage and married another man to trick Raiden, but it was really to trick the Patriots.
Yes, please, the story is confusing enough without bringing that into the...
Yeah, let's try and veer away from the Hideo Kojima storylines. Trying to decipher the Metal Gear Solid storyline is almost up there with trying to decipher the Kingdom Hearts storyline. So let's just stay away from all that noise.
Eventually, they got back together and had a kid. Can we please go back to talking about killing people now?
Sure. One day he was captured by the Patriots and used as a test subject for exoskeletal enhancement surgery, transforming him into a superhuman cyborg ninja.
That's what I'm talking about!
As a cyborg, Raiden went from a force to be reckoned with to a nigh unstoppable killing machine. He is fast enough to outrun bullet trains and even run on walls.
And he can do shit like this.
You too, immortal.
No. I just don't fear death.
Drugs must be fun.
That's not even the half of it. Raiden is strong enough to lift and throw a Metal Gear Ray. While a Ray's exact weight is unknown when compared to a Metal Gear Rex, which weighs 557 tons, we can estimate its weight to be over 1,000 tons.
And that wasn't even his final form!
Right, Raiden eventually got a newer, better cyborg body, which was even more powerful.
Strong enough to flip this giant thing, rip off its building-sized sword, and then fight a duel with it. And finish it off at blinding speed! I mean, what in the actual hell?
When he's not wielding building-sized blades, Raiden wields a high-frequency blade called the Murasama. Originally forged in the 16th century, the Murasama was re-outfitted with high-frequency technology. By creating a powerful current through the blade that vibrates at intense speeds, it weakens its target's molecular bonds, forcibly slicing through almost anything.
And if that's not deadly enough for you, Raiden can activate a super mode called Zendatsu. This causes Raiden's perception of time to slow anywhere from 50 to 90%, giving him plenty of time to chop through his foes as precisely or as rapidly as he'd like.
He can take this a step further by deactivating his pain inhibitors. Allowing intense agony from wounds to envelop his senses causes him to lose himself in his old Jack the Ripper personality. This Ripper mode radically boosts his already insane speed and strength.
Who's next?
But it comes at a price. You know, aside from the whole pain and sanity thing. These enhanced modes rely on a fuel supply, and using them burns through it at a rapid pace.
Raiden can only carry enough fuel to sustain these modes for a very limited time, and relies on absorbing more fuel cell electrolytes from enemy cyborgs. Plus, his blood is not natural, and must be changed regularly, like the oil in a car.
But still...
I am lightning. The rain transformed.
Worth it.
All right, so that was the breakdown for Raiden, and let me say, he's a lot stronger than I had originally thought. I know I've seen some clips of him slicing people up in his little time slowdown mode, and I knew he had his little Berserker Rage, Jack the Ripper kind of Berserker Rage mode type deal. So when comparing these two characters together, they have a lot of similarities, right? They typically are that lone wolf guy who's really good at killing things with a blade. They both seem to be really durable. They were both some kind of government experiment to kind of create a super soldier, albeit in different ways. But I'm gonna have to say, overall, it looks like Raiden is definitely faster. Because while Wolverine is pretty quick, he's not known for speed. It's not his thing. It's not really his forte. He's not going to be the type of person that's moving so fast he can run along walls or things like that. So Raiden definitely has the edge on speed. Now, strength. Looks like Raiden has the edge on strength as well. If he's able to slice apart giant tank walkers and use a blade that's massive and swing it around to cut apart Metal Gears. I mean, Wolverine is strong, but he's not that strong. You know, you don't see Wolverine cutting off the arm of a Sentinel and then using the Sentinel's arm to then beat the Sentinel into oblivion. You don't see that. Raiden seems to be stronger. He seems to be faster. I do not think he's more durable than Wolverine. He seems to have a couple flaws, if you will, a couple weaknesses. The fact that his blood is artificial and therefore means that it does not self-replenish. It seems like he could, in fact, bleed out much quicker and easier than someone like Wolverine would. And of course, the adamantium bones ensure that Wolverine's bones won't break. While you can't really say the same thing about Raiden, while it does look like most of his body has been turned into a cyborg, again, that doesn't mean he can't get chopped to pieces by adamantium claws. As far as strength and speed, Raiden has the advantage here. As far as durability goes and combat experience, I think Wolverine has the edge. Raiden has the katana, which isn't magically imbued like the Masamune from Marvel Comics, but it is more than a regular katana. It seems to kind of work like a vibroblade in Star Wars, where the blade itself has been infused with energy and vibrates in order to basically let it cut things that it shouldn't be able to cut. If it can cut through adamantium, then I think he's going to take the win. I mean, he can cut through helicopters like it's absolutely nothing, like a hot knife through butter. So I think Raiden might win this. He's definitely stronger. He's definitely faster. And if his blade can cut through adamantium, I really don't see a way for Wolverine to win this. If he can't cut through adamantium, then Wolverine can probably hold out long enough to deliver a killing blow. But I'm going to have to go with Raiden on this one. As much as Raiden annoys me and I still am bitter about the bait and switch from Metal Gear Solid 2, I think he's going to win this one. So let's go ahead and check out the death battle and find out.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
All right, what do we got here? All right, looks like this one is done in glorious 3D animation. What is up with the cow sounds?
Who the hell are you? Get out of my way. Fat chance, bub. You're next.
All right, let's see.
What? Who? What are you? Gotta admit, that hurt. Nice trick, Voltron. I'm actually more human than you. And that's saying something. Let's dance.
Calls him Voltron. Yeah. There's that speed difference.
No use hiding, bub. The nose knows. You're done. What? I will end you! Are you some kind of cyborg? Well, my bones are covered in the strongest metal around. Does that count? I'll just have to swing harder then. Take adamantium.
Okay, well, they're definitely putting on display Raiden's advanced speed. He's definitely got the speed. But again, they're showing Wolverine's durability. He's definitely the more durable one, and he's taking all the hits and just coming back from them. And it is very common for Wolverine to intentionally take what would otherwise be a fatal hit to himself in order to close the gap on an opponent. And Raiden's taken a few hits, but he doesn't really seem to be losing any kind of steam. But it also doesn't seem like his sword is cutting through adamantium. And if he can't cut through that adamantium skeleton, then it's only a matter of time before Wolverine takes the fight. So let's see how they end this.
Oh, ouch. All right, Terminator. Now you've got me mad. Shit! Oh, not again! Good night, RoboCop. Pain. This is why I fight. It's time for Jack the Ripper to let her rip!
Berserker mode versus Berserker mode. Who comes out on top? Oh! Oh! Okay, well.
Oh my god!
Because of Wolverine's adamantium skeleton and stubborn healing factor, he was able to hang in there despite Raiden's clearly superior speed and strength.
He could have even kept it up until Raiden ran out of fuel, if it weren't for one important question. Could the high-frequency blade cut adamantium?
That's the question I'm saying. Can it cut through adamantium? Because that's honestly the deciding factor here, right? If he can't cut through his skeleton, then, like I said, it would just be a matter of time before Wolverine takes the fight.
To answer this, we dug deep into Marvel Comics history and found Misty Knight, a lesser-known Marvel heroine with a bionic arm made of Antarctic vibranium.
Yeah, but Antarctic vibranium is different, man. It literally melts other metals, including adamantium. This is different, though, I think.
This anti-metal emanates vibrations which weaken its target's molecular bonds, exactly like Raiden's high-frequency blade. Like the Murasama, this can destabilize and break any metal, including adamantium.
And while in Jack the Ripper mode, Raiden can strike with enough force to cut through buildings and machines built to survive nuclear wars.
With that much strength behind a sword like that, plus Raiden's speed and technology advantage, Wolverine's supposedly indestructible skeleton met its match.
Any way you slice it, Raiden just had the right gear for the job.
The winner is Raiden.
That was Death Battle Wolverine versus Raiden. I'm gonna have to say overall I agree, even though I like Wolverine about 10 times more than I like Raiden. Like I've said a couple of times now, Raiden just left a bad taste in my mouth when Hideo Kojima decided to bait and switch me when I was a youngin'. And I was super stoked. Because let me tell you, I had played the demo for Metal Gear Solid 2 repeatedly. It came with a magazine as a demo disc, and I had played the opening tanker mission 100 times. And I was so stoked to play Metal Gear Solid 2 and play as Solid Snake in that, beautifully crafted 3D environment at the time. It seemed really detailed. You could knock people out with the dart gun. You could shoot out lights. You could hold people up and shake them down for equipment. It was just amazing. And then you get the game, you open it up, you put it in, you play that opening tanker mission, and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I know what's going on here. I got this down. I am Solid Snake. You finish the tanker mission, and all of a sudden they throw you on the big show, and you are Raiden, and you have to listen to Raiden complain throughout the rest of the game, and you don't get to play as Solid Snake. So, I'm still, to this day, years and years and years later, still a little miffed about that. So as cool as they've made Raiden in recent years, turning him into the full-on cyborg ninja and allowing him to break dance with robots attached to his feet, do all this wild, outlandish stuff, I remember where you came from, Raiden, and I'm still annoyed by it. No, I will never forget that bait and switch, and I will never forgive you for it. That being said, he did take the fight, and I'm gonna have to agree with it. He is leagues faster than Wolverine. He's way stronger, and his blade, it does make sense that it could cut through adamantium. Enjoyed the fight, really liked it. I always enjoy what Death Battle does. They got good animations, whether they're using 3D models or pixel sprite animations. Either way, I love it. I love these things. And I really hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and consider clicking that subscribe button. That way you can help the channel out and stay up to date with all the newest reactions that come out. And leave your own suggestion below down in the comments. Let me know, what did you think about this Death Battle? What other Death Battles should we check out in the future? What other videos in general should we take a look at and put on the list of things to view? Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for watching the video. Take care of yourselves and have a great day.